This is James of Pandora's Box. This is the third video for Life, Liberty, Love. I figured I would give you one more here. I don't believe Marcion was a Gnostic, just like you said. I think he was a fucking wannabe Gnostic who saw things that were Gnostic in the Bible and was right about what he saw. But I think he still understood things in a very carnal way. In fact, I think he understood marriage in a carnal way. Here's passages that Tertullian harps on him about. Especially the one on marriage is the one I'll show you. But anyway, it says in 1618, Luke 16:18's parallel Marcion says, the sons of this Aeon are unto their own genia wiser, which is phronimos, wiser beyond the children of light, phoche, heavenly light. So for the sons of this Aeon are unto their own naturally begotten descendants, so that's your generation, so generation is the correct word, unto their own generation, mindful of their own interests beyond the children of light, of heavenly light. So, how Valentinus would see this passage was that the generations, or the selfish generations, they're not using wise in the wise way that you think. They're wiser, being a wise guy. So the sons of this Aeon, the Aeon would be this world, but more specifically this eternal world, meaning the world won't be destroyed. The idea is that actually you would come up with more of an idea of reincarnation on this. Either you reincarnate or you go to heaven, which would be the other Aeon, and the children of light inherit that Aeon. So that's how you would see that. It teaches about the Aeons of renunciation and natural men, and it says huios, or huios, posterity or offspring is used in that as well. That's used for sons. It doesn't have to be material, meaning the only thing that makes it material is saying this generation or this Aeon or children of light determines whether it's material or not. It's the context of the passage. However, that's translated as world right there. It's an Aeon. We move on to passage 1830's parallel from Luke, Marcion's parallel to Luke 18:30. It says, "Who shall not receive manifold more in this time, kairos, time, due time." So, who shall not receive manifold more in this due time, and in the coming Aeon, eternal life. Coming, says, urkom ahi, to come from one place to another, to come into being, to become known, which would be a Gnostic perspective, to become known. So, and in becoming known in the Aeon, you will receive eternal life, which is Aeonos, or Aeoneos, without beginning or end. So, this is a very Gnostic passage. But it gets changed to world. So it says, who shall not receive manifold more in this time and in the coming world? So the coming world. It's the idea that the world was going to go through a transformation. So that's what the Catholics believed, and they think that they fulfilled that with the Vatican, I'm sure. No, it was built by a fornicator. Right here, 20:34 to 35, the sons of this Aeon marry and are given in marriage. So the sons of this world. Is how Marcion took that. So he's actually the one who's first responsible for actually misunderstanding the passage. So if he really did misunderstand it, Tertullian uses this passage to claim that Marcion forbid marriage until baptism, because once you were baptized, you were in a new world. If he did that, then he really misunderstood the passage. This gets changed in Matthew to say that once you go to heaven, there's no marriage, or once the world's reshaped, there's no marriage. People won't have penises or vaginas, which is basically what Justin thought. There'd be no sex in heaven. That's what he got from this passage. That's not what it says. It says the sons of this Aeon marry and are given in marriage. If those accounted worthy of that Aeon to obtain the resurrection of the dead, neither marry or are given in marriage. So it does promote the idea of celibacy, but what it's saying is there won't be marriage because the two become one. So there are no males or females, is actually what it's saying. It's not saying there's no erotic love. It's just showing that there are two Aeons. He's teaching that there's two worlds, and that therefore there's a God over this world and God over that world. And in Ephesians, now they will take Aeon and turn it into generation, oddly enough. Even though it says Aeon, they turn it into Genea. The Strong's Concordance I found really strange. I got a Strong's Concordance. I picked up a Strong's Concordance, the exhaustive edition. It was fairly cheap now. It's one of the cheaper reference books. It claims to be an exhaustive concordance, yet it claims Aeon's only used in Ephesians and Colossians. It's never used in Luke. They don't use Aeon. So there is definitely a conspiracy to cover this up. I can see it. I don't know what else to call it. I don't think they're doing that on accident. Looks like purely on purpose to me. Very disturbing. But yeah, I see what Valentinus sees in this. I don't see what Marcion sees in it. I do agree with Marcion that he saw that they were corrupting the text, but I don't think he did anything with this text. I think he discovered that text and he figured it out. I think he saw that, well, look, now they're using the Gospel of Hebrews where they used to use Paul's Gospel, meaning the Judaizers had taken over his church. He had found that Gospel because his dad was the bishop. He probably found it in the library there, and he was like, what is this? Because that even shows more evidence that there was a conspiracy that they were trying to cover up. Very obvious the Judaizers wanted to smear Paul's reputation, especially at Alexandria. They were doing that, and in Asia because that's where Paul's churches were. So yeah, I just figured that was something interesting that I'd share with you. All the modern translations will say world when you look at those passages, but the Greek says Aeon. So anyway, peace be upon you.